What's going on, guys? The Cast back here once again, shedding some light on another subject. This subject is, well, the grand scheme of Wrestlemania. Let's face it. We've got guys coming back, Taker and Triple H and Rock. I want to do a very specific video here, and I want to answer all the questions on how I feel about this so everybody well understands exactly how I feel. Because as you know, I have sporadic thoughts on everything, especially if you follow me on Twitter. Or if you like my page on Facebook, you see a couple of things. And if you watch my videos, sometimes people see, I'll say one thing in video A, and then I'll say something else in video B, and sometimes and it goes together. You have to see both videos to understand. And sometimes, well, actually a lot of times, people won't see both videos to understand it. So this is me trying to explain what's going on. I had a comment on my Facebook page from a buddy of mine, Chris Halls. This is a guy I know well before I ever became Chris Chaos. And so he knows a lot about me, personally, the person, that not a lot of you know. And part of, as I'm shaking the stand here, I did go to college. I am a very intelligent individual. I don't boastfully say that. I just state it as a fact and let it be known. I do have 2 degrees in business. I have a degree in marketing, and I have a general business degree with psychology mixed in with that. So Chris, him and John Massey has been commenting a lot on my Facebook page, and shout out to both of those guys. They're awesome. I made the comment on Facebook about there was some kind of thing going around that Brock Lesnar and The Rock might wrestle at WrestleMania 29, and I posted, I said, Brock, Rock, no, never gonna happen. At least I don't think it's going to. And that's just my opinion. So you can go check out my Facebook page. You can check out what everything that was said throughout that whole, there's a bunch of comments on that, so go check it out. Most of them is between those 2 guys. So Chris leaves me this comment. Says, you're a business major, you have a degree in it, you should know why Vince did it. Because he knows that will make money, especially when some of the newer guys fail to deliver and sell, and all of these other pay-per-views have bad buy rates. True. It's all true. Vince is bringing in The Rock and bringing back Taker and having him and Triple H go at it because he does not feel comfortable enough having CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler, add Jericho into that, by the way, or having WrestleMania headline with those guys, or having The Miz in another title, whatever. I think they did a great job pushing The Miz last year, but they just didn't capitalize on it, and that, it just happens. But the problem here is Vince and the creative team not making things better throughout the year. I see where, as from a business standpoint, I see why you would bring in The Rock to drive WrestleMania and to make the pay-per-view more money, more buys, more ticket sales, more people talking about it, more people doing YouTube videos like this, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Tumblr, whatever your social media platform. I get it, okay? I completely understand. But What you have to understand is Vince is going back to that because they are failing to properly make new stars. When the Attitude Era started, the business was different than it is now. It was more wide open. You could get away with more things. I mean, Hunter and Shawn and Brett and Stone Cold and even Taker and The Rock, and there were all these elements, and everybody was getting a lot of TV time, and everybody was getting storylines, and they were getting pushed like they needed to be. That's not happening now. It's just not. And they even had enough time for the women to go out and do their thing. Ivory and Chyna and Jacqueline and all these, it's mind-boggling to look back on it now, on the Attitude Era, and try to compare it. You can't. Except for to say they did things right then, they're not doing them right now. So people are clamoring for the Attitude Era to be brought back. So that's why they're bringing it back. That's why they want The Rock. And they're billing this the end of an era match between Taker and Triple H, because they're trying to bring back what is special. The last couple of Raws have been really good because, and they always are leading up to WrestleMania, because it's almost like they take the restrictions off and they just say, just go out there and sell this. And if they would do that all year long, it would work. Think about it for a second. Who are the guys that are the most over with the WWE Universe? Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, Christian. People that tweet and use social media and connect with the fans, and also take storylines into Twitter. See, Beth Phoenix, Natalya, Tamina, same thing. Because God knows they're not getting the TV exposure that they need to. And it's fucking bullshit, by the way, just sidebar, that they're having this match, this Divas Tag match at WrestleMania, and they're doing no build-up of it because they can't on TV. They can't do it because Maria Menounos is doing Dancing with the Stars every Monday night. And she can't partake in Monday Night Raw. They could film stuff, though. I hope they did that for tomorrow night. Or tonight. Whatever. The main point behind this is, if WWE would take the restrictions off and just let the guys do what they want or what they know that they need to do. You're in this position to be a WWE superstar because somebody, somewhere, whether it was John Laurinaitis or whether it was, Jim Ross, guys that Jim Ross brought in, or whether it was even Vince himself, said, that guy's got something. That guy is special. I want to build or continue to build my company with that guy right there, because that guy is special. That's why they kept Dolph Ziggler, and the rest of the Spirit Squad is gone. No mas. Think about that for a minute. I have said repeatedly that the greatest thing about ECW, and yes, I'm making an ECW reference. The greatest thing about ECW is that Paul Heyman would say, alright, what do you want to do? Nah, fuck it, just go out there and do something. And they would go out there and they would do something, and there was nobody saying, don't do this, don't do that, you have to do this, follow this script, follow this storyline. They went out there and did something and created magic. If Vince, see, these guys are should be so fucking smart in the business, and if they're not, they need to be fired, and somebody else that is that smart needs to be brought in. If they really understood the business, they could go out there and they could, without a script, without some promo written down word for word that they have to memorize, they could go out and do the job that they need to do. I was in the business for 4 years wrestling. I cut many a mic's bill. I wrestled many a match. And I never had a script put in front of me. I never had somebody tell me, okay, you're going to do A, B, C, D, E, and F, and you're going to wrap it up with G, and we're going to go home. I never had that. The only thing I ever had was, well, how are we going to start the match? Well, we'll lock up, we'll do this, 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 and then we'll just go on the fly from there. And then when we decide to go home, we'll go clothesline, body slam, clothesline, finisher. You know, it's done. Let's go home. Let's go drink some beer. That's how it worked. For me, you know, it's always good to have some kind of plan, but to have it set out exactly like it needs, or exactly like they're doing it, stupid. It's restricting the guys that's there, and they're not allowed to grow and expand and make the product better, the overall product better. They're not going to, it's not going to be the Attitude Era. It will never be the Attitude Era again until they can pull the restrictions off. That's why Stone Cold, if he was a wrestler now, wouldn't work. Right time, right place. That's all I'm saying. So, I went many different directions with this video. I hope you understood it. My main point in all of this 12-minute, 13-minute thing is, if you book accordingly, you won't have to rely on the past to pull your ass out of the fire. In this instance, the past is The Rock. The past is Taker. The past is Triple H. The past is Jericho. You won't have to rely on these guys come WrestleMania time to pull the WWE out of the nobody cares into something that everybody cares about. Because if you booked right, Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk, I still think that Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk could main event this WrestleMania, and it would be a success. No gimmicks allowed. Just let the two best wrestlers in the WWE, no disrespect to Chris Jericho, the two best performers over the last year have been Punk and Ziggler. In my eyes, put them together, put them in WrestleMania, let magic happen. Give them 45 minutes and let magic happen. Because you fucking know that it will. That's all I'm saying. I hope you understood where I went here. And if you didn't, well, go fuck yourself. You're stupid. I couldn't have laid it out any plainer than that. That's just the way it is. So, deuces. As always. And remember, I always have one more trick up my sleeve if you don't get it. Later.